The Forever Now Universe, Book 1, They Call Me Charleston, by Polly, the Latino Slant. Part 1, Forever Now. Cuval, before we begin, let me give you a little Forever Now universe rundown. Take the glossary above and pay attention. My time is valuable. And yet, time and dates don't really match v- uh, up the way you all count it. So just abandon your calendars and holidays for the rest of this tale, okay? Dwellers are the mindless minions. Scallywags and waggers are warriors, tough as shit and can level up to captain. Scavengers are dark rogue agents. Hired assassins. Disciples are the generals. Think of Norse gods on roids. Rare are the dark lords of Miklan. The Fallen Sun, or FS, is one such dark asshole. Now, on our end, the collective has composers, healers, scouts, and observers. It's a lot to cover, but just know we don't have a hierarchy. It's just a never ending family feud that will soon end. Now, the most powerful entity ever conceived was the Hot Five. These motherfuckers, they were keepers of old, timekeepers of old, god warriors of sound. Sound is the mathematical language we all speak. My celestial kin, who are musicians, know this. The Hot Five embodied love and saved civilians time and time again. Their power? When playing together, the Hot Five created waves, shit, laser blasts of energy from their instruments. The drums, bass, guitar, horn, and accordion channeled elements, high force vibrations that did the will of their players. Plenty of times, space waggers waged wars on the Hot Five and the time gates they protected. Now, let me tell you all about the time I almost died. The healer. Am I dead? Again? Abuelito's gonna be pissed. I'm on a bus bound for Yuma. Points of encounter. Human, plain folk, lost ones. We depart and I have the shivers. I'm overworked and due for a long holiday. Shit, let's be honest. I'm dying for a vacay. Eastbound, headed towards the dunes of my childhood. Let me tell you all a little bit about me and my heavenly talents. The only way that I can best use my gifts is if I keep on moving. Never stay in one place, city or county, no set routines. I help more people this way. No, I save more people this way. I'm more effective with my boots on the ground. I visit district after district, year after year to see potentials like myself, and along the way, I help folks out, just like you, the affected. Now, depending on the line I ride, there can be a rash of scavengers preying on said normies and then turning them. So while my primary purpose is to prepare gifted ones to cross over, I love to heal. I help travelers who are seemingly lost along the way. These souls who take trains, buses, and free shuttles are chin deep in mud cake despair, man. I don't need physical contact or a handshake to change their lives. I just need to sit next to them. The longer, the better. An open seat is tricky to maneuver, and I need time with the life I'm trying to save. Space and time are not ideal on this transit line. The less time, the less influence I have. In seconds, I could change a person's mood. In minutes, their day. Longer, their year. Potentially an entire lifespan. I realign their mental attitude. That's all. The mental to the divine. Over the ages, people have slowly stepped away from our purpose. For lack of a better word, we forgot about God. So, I could explain the why and the state of our world, but you already know the situation. I make people remember God and recollect not by saying a single word. I sit and I feel for them, feel for what they loved and missed the most, their purest selves. When I find it, I create a wonderful window for them. Deep in their hearts, I set it. Once they look out and in and out themselves, once they look in and out of themselves, it reminds them of what they once cherished. Man, they get to fucking fall in love with themselves, their younger selves, all over again. They fall into this place of pure freedom. I, I guess you could say I'm a divine ninja. Damn, I love my job. My cousins and I are celestial beings, using our unique gifts to help or control. Now, you're going to hear a lot of me. I'm going to be referencing Bravo the Toltec a lot. Shit. Think of Bravo as our abuelo, everybody's granddaddy. To get to his lands, which reside in Mictlan, you have to die in this world. All right? Now, just talking about this lore gets my blood going. Damn, I love my job. Now, it's not like one of those sacrifices that are totally blown out of proportion from European history books. No. Making all the Aztecs look like bloodthirsty motherfuckers. This sacrifice has no finality. Yes, the blood ceases to work, but our divine selves take the next step and choose to come back to be of service or not. The collective has chosen the former. Past events, they run through me. I poetically dream, cough, and recollect. Earlier, I was on a northbound train. The flux of encounters of human bodies, shapes, spaces, all living apart yet breathing the same putrid air. I turned CO2 into oxygen. Long tunnels turned, twisted, baffled, possibilities, routes in my head, spilling out into the station. I saw broken bodies with cracked smiles grunt and claw their way out to the exit. New travelers packed it in from the overground, 103rd and Watts Tower Station, shined away. Travelers that spoke to each other in silence. You see, I just finished a job where I had to snag a scavenger, a willywagger by the name of Bobo. I was making a final visit to a gifted youngster. Her school was in the last days of operation. Cuts forced the districts to close and relocate all resources to more desirable areas. Now the youngsters class would be the last to graduate from Compton. Walking down the outside corridors of unkept campuses, signs hung every other doorway. Weathered green words, yellow trim reminded the students to be prompt, be prepared, be productive. Faded signs now, forgotten children, perfect breeding grounds for scavengers and scallywags. But before I get my hands on them first, the Chavala's time here was about over, and she needed to get going on her journey to Bravo's. Bravo School. His lands are the last free space for gifted children to have a future. Healers like me needed a happy place to develop our skills. The price to get there is high, so only one student allowed per year. The students can't have any living relatives. Their specific, unique powers are determined in childhood. Finally, it's not required, and now it's very rare, but if the student's bloodline can be traced to the Toltec queen Xochitl, a budding god they can be. That's Bravo's bloodline, for sure. Some badass heroes I'm talking about here, man. The candidate. The Chavala I'm talking about is Lala Coates. 15, orphan, highly intelligent, able to levitate. Not only that, she's a sunrise changer. Y'all heard me right. I'm not speaking in riddles. Lala can literally stop rivers from running, scramble your brain, bend the equations of matter and time. Y'all heard me? She's got that mad, deep composer's blood. However, she can get depressed. She's a bit behind emotionally with her emotional maturity, which can play with her mind. and budding powers. She's got a harrowing journey ahead of her. My concerns go way back when said Chavala loved to chase seabirds. Her powers, handed down from her parents, are very rare, pure, innocent. When she joyfully played with the birds, doomed souls nearby signaled to her light. Even Yawotzin was summoned. Her adopted family had taken her to the marina to watch the colorful boats and gravity-defying surfers. There was a terrible wind playing with the sails and people's balances. No doubt that asshole child god Yawotzin was playing with the weather from the nearby watery depths. He knew Lala's presence, no doubt. I was in disguise. I was chilling like a villain in the public bathrooms. Yawotzin pushed Lala down with a burst. Now, this skinny little kid, about 5, sprang up, closed her eyes, and killed the wind. Oh, man, it was a sight. Out of nowhere, man. I'm telling you, her family had no clue. I did. I also saw her tears run down as she got back up from her feet. I knew those tears. Lala had been running from those tears since, like I said, I've been plenty worried about her ever since. But with any candidate that hopes to travel to Bravo's lands, she's got to die first. I told y'all, she's got a hellish journey that will assault her emotions. Now, I hope the best for her death. All right, what do you guys think? My name is Polly. What's happening? We're taking a little break, a little water break. We're going to bring Fletcher in and say hello to the chat. I hope you liked our dramatic entrance. How's it going, Fletcher?
Boom! Welcome, everybody. And we want to thank you, everybody, for being here. And the reason we're being here is for you to get a copy of our awesome book. So we got available on Book Baby and also Amazon. And please let us know if you got the book. Just boom, let us know by tagging me or Latino Slant and saying I got mine, and we want to, push some of ourselves. If you already have the book, consider getting it for a friend. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're gonna say what's up to our folks in the chat. We got Lord Tot. We got James C. Can't wait for tuning in. We got Daniel K. And we got Jen McMahon in house. What's up, Jen? Who else we got? We got Solomon Thornton. We got member of the channel, Lee Kinder. And we got awesome member of the channel, Courtney Fellowship of Oddballs. My name is Charleston. By the Novela, so good. Yes, hey, thank you. We also got Monica S, member of the channel.
Monica.
Nice. And we got our homeboy Visinger also in the house. Thank you so much, Viz. We saw you pushing the book on Twitter. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so really fast, guys. We're doing this live reading for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, is to entertain you live, and then we will have this, as a kind of our digital performance to back up the book. But also, too, it's a holiday season's coming up, and this is a great gift to give. It's only $9.99. Now, if you get the ebook, you can gift that to somebody through Amazon. $9.99, you get it instantly. If you do the print on demand, it costs about $5 more, including everything. So even though it says $9.99, it's about $14. But you said something really interesting, Fletcher. You said even if you already have it, because we got a couple of hundred backers, y'all have been fantastic. So if you guys get it tonight, which we would love you to death for, I think we should give away a poster, man. What do you think, Fletch?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
So let's bring this bad boy up. The solo down there, camera 2.
All right, here we go.
So that's the poster right there next to my spiffy shoes. And we'll sign that puppy. We got about 12 left. So what I would like, Fletcher, I would like to, I think anyone that is living in the lower 48, because I don't want to, go crazy out of pocket. But what are we gonna do? We're gonna for members, or what? How are we doing that with the poster?
Yeah, so let us know if you become a member our high level. We will autograph and send you the poster if you live in the lower 48
Right.
style in the United States. We'll send you that bad boy over, hopefully for the holidays, and that'll be sweet on your wall.
Yeah, I can get that to you guys. But again, become a member tonight. We'll get you a signed autograph poster, and also too, buy the book. Even if you've already gotten it, give it away as a digital copy. The digital looks really nice. You've been putting it up while I've been reading.
Yeah, and then you can see it's very easy to read. You can change the colors on it, the fonts, the style. It's pretty nice and very adaptable. You can get it in all your devices. Myself right now, I'm on a Mac, so it doesn't discriminate.
No, it's and that's the good thing about it's instant. You can get it through Amazon. I know a lot of people have Amazon, so we made it easy for you guys. Okay, so before we get started on the next part, what do we got, a super chat?
Yeah, we do. Courtney, Fellowship Bobo, member of the channel, 199. Hello, everyone. Polly, you are killing it.
Cheer. Love you, girl. Love you.
Nice. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
So again, big hellos to everyone in the chat. This is also too a really great way to support indie creative. This is something obviously I wrote. It's an original, and we're gonna jump back into it.
All right.
And we'll talk in a few minutes. How about that?
Sounds great. All right.
The Dapper Revolutionary. I was a roadie for a band called the Hot Five. I want to say back in 1919, Morelos, Mexico. This cantina we were playing at had a lot of charm and drunks. One well-known space wagger, Don Jesus, was running things back then. These types of waggers love to fuck with historical figures and events. The Hot Five were the only ones that could stop them. Don Jesus was a nasty borracho who had an army. He just smoked 59 of his own men just to prove a point. He had hired us for a private gig. The band had been fighting and were broke. We were off our game and got lured by the gig and promises of more. We played Honor March as Jesus greeted this dapper general who had just arrived. The general's eyes were angry and stone intense. Day after day, his work of uniting a nation had grown out of reach. But from boot to stash, he was still quite dashing. First horn was called. We didn't need a full band, so half stayed at the cantina, emborrachando. We were vulnerable, almost powerless. Second horn. I noticed there was a lot of soldiers there for this private gig. Hundreds, in fact. Just for one man and his ragtag crew of 10? Third horn played. Guns lowered and shot at the fine gentleman. Now, we didn't have all our magic, but we had some. Enough strength to deflect most of those bullets, but not all, and Zapata was wounded. Now, history will tell you that he died that day, on the spot. But we know what really went down. And the space waggers didn't want Zapata to continue his fight, and we didn't want him dead. It's a battle of balance. You have to understand. Some good people have to die. Others retire to a life of obscurity, like our friend, the Dapper Revolutionary. But the heart of a fighter never retires. Zapata would ride again. But I'll let my prima tell that tale in her book. Spoiler time? That dapper Wapo has led a quiet life, nursing the sleeping lady of Tucson. A never-ending story will soon end. Now, most of the time, the band prevailed and played on. But all it takes is one last fight, And that battle happened within, and the band broke up that night in Morelos when the lead singer, fallen son, wanted Zapata dead. He secretly loved imbalance. He wanted to ride in and save the day. He thought he could rival Bravo este way. Next part, the heart of a hummingbird. As I previously stated, you've got to die to enter Mictlan. However, before you get to Bravo's lands, there are 9 trials you have to go through. These trials range from some like Indiana Jones type of shit to some very dark personal matters. So it takes a unique soul to survive the afterworld. For Lala to enter the realm, she has to die and bring a scavenger with her. A life for a life must go hand in hand into the underworld. Bravo's words, not mine. It's a fucking treacherous journey, man. But when you make it to his land, it all makes sense. Did you hear about the one about Bravo's 7 trial and how these man beasts ate the heart of a hummingbird? Well, technically, it was a Chihuahua, and the Chihuahua was Bravo's daughter and my mama in this world. Now, legend has it that my mother, Pumpkin, accompanied Bravo through the first 7 trials. By then, she was a chubby Chihuahua of a woman pushing 14 in dog years. On the 7th trial, they encountered 2 wild beasts who loved to eat human hearts. Bravo was in a lot of emotional turmoil from the journey, and he was in anguish. She saw it and knew his heart wasn't ready. She barked. "You have the beads?" "No," Bravo cried. "I lost them over the icy lands that shredded my skin apart." "Ah, Pop-Pops, you're so damn forgetful." She licked his face. The beasts were hungry and she knew it. "Man beasts, take my heart of jade that will calm your appetite." Pumpkin barked at them as her hackles rose, tail curled for attack. Her growl got vicious as her eyes opened wide. She leaped forward and took out one of the beasts down, and her jowls bit hard on his neck. Bravo's anguish had paralyzed him, but he was slowly coming out of it. However, these were man beasts. These were beastmen. They were very cunning, fast, and soon overtook my mother. With her side belly out, Pumpkin was taking her last breaths. Bravo ran over to her. "I thought there would be more time." "There will be, Pop-Pops, but I have to cross over now. Take my heart and complete your journey." She passed, and the beast ate her heart of jade. As decreed, Bravo had to clean the wounds of the beast. And by the time the cleansing ritual was done, Bravo felt no more anguish, just clarity and peace. That was my mama's heart. Before Bravo went about his way, he paused by Pumpkin's remains. She had quickly withered with only her fur swimming among the leaves and dirt. Bravo wept. There was a moment under the fur. There was movement under the fur and ground, a sound, and then the head of a hummingbird bored out. Pumpkin flew up, looked around, circled above the beast and Bravo. The beast bellowed and then bowed at her transformation. She tweeted, and Bravo understood her. "My heart is reborn, large and eternal, Pop-Pops." "My loyal daughter," he lamented. "I'm going ahead, Father, beyond time and understanding." Her wings began to take up speed. "I know, mija. You saved me in every way." He spoke as he waved farewell. "I'll soon see you. Under the pecan grove outside the lands, I will be the first line of defense." And with those prophetic words, she zoomed away. On to the 8th and 9th levels he went, shedding off the last of his flesh. His soul would find a resting place near the lords of Mictlan. Present time. I'm Yuma Bound. My breathing is labored, man, as I recollect shit. Moments of stillness, and I wonder if my mind is going a bit. I told you that I snagged a scallywag last week, and on this very same bus. Scallywags smell bad. I mean, really fucking disgusting. That's usually the first giveaway. Now, another dead giveaway technically is they're dead. I mean, they might have celestial ties, but they return to this plane unnaturally. So they are slightly off. Their skin is discolored. They walk hobbled, hair patchy. But the easiest giveaway is that they lack love, no joy. They might charm the pants off of you. They might charm the pants off of you, but if they but they have no compassion. They're just reckless, just a reckless drive to hurt. And the only possible way I can get close to a wagger is I have to disguise myself as one of them. Hence the catch 22. To heal those in need, I also have to be really close to them, but I smell bad. I mean, I'm straight up fail. Who the hell is going to last 10 seconds sitting next to me once they get a whiff? I mean, not me. It's been years, in fact, since I lived in a clean me. Since Buckeye. Damn. Chale con eso. There are unfortunate people who have no choice but to sit and bear it. The aches of knees, feet, and lower backs have forced many a broken soul to sit next to yours truly. However, those that choose the seat smell my funk, get healed, and then some. I mean, look, it's a real magical event I'm talking about here. A straight up miracle. There was this one lady a few years back, Joanna Coase, late 40s, who, when she sat down next to me that dreary morning, was diabetic and obese. You see, Joanna is Lala's tia. Back in the day, Joanna was a state track star, lean and lovely, but the nature of life manifested in her over the years as extra weight. No doubt carrying the burdens and troubles of her loved ones. That shit takes its toll, man. When she sat down, she did a double take at me. My disguise must have been off. Next part. Lather of Evil. Hell, what I do takes its toll on me. And I'm pretty much an immortal. But for the sanctity of my human mind, I've set rules down for myself when I take on a wagger persona. Okay, rule number 1. I got to remind myself to step out of the act. Rule number 2. It's part of the job, and healing just wrecks you. Rule number 3. I have to remember who I am under the mask of pain and deceit. But I got to tell you, man, I feel myself being turned into a wagger when I ignore these rules. It's like forgetting to pack a water-filled cantina before walking into the Sonoran Desert. Isn't that something? Knowing the keys of success and doing the exact opposite. I mean, that's how that's how it gets in my head when my mental attitude disconnects from my divine. A lot of bad, poisonous shit gets lathered and thick, reaching into all my thoughts. Lather that hardens in those out of reach crevices. Hard evil can be tough to crack, especially when it's your own. Scary how easily we get lost in our own misery. Trust me, I've been lost a few times, and yet I've always made it back to sanity. But that's another story. Most normies never become self-realized. The special normies, they can often be driven into suicide. Now, because of my celestial makeup, suicide should never happen. Some of my primos, however, defied the law and drove themselves to insanity and fell out. I know the reasons. I also feel what they feel at times. And that's when I can get in trouble. That's when I've lost my way. Next part, gibberish. Many days on the train, talking gibberish gets you. Damn right. You heard me. I talk to myself. It's part of the gig. Before I give you a taste, just a word about street folks. Before I give you a taste of gibberish, just a word about street folks who mouth off. Be watchful. Sleeping animals float in the composer's dream tale, weaving the worlds of language and thoughts. Beings unable, she enables and blinds. Blinded souls in their sleep, lost from conception and sight. There are those who desire a reunion to become one, all now able to commune with all of Earth's creatures. Such is the way of the composer Titi. Now, this is gibberish over her on the red line, unit station bound, source unknown. My cousin Georgie had stopped speaking to people decades ago. Verbal speech was pointless to people such as Georgie. Strange desert folk from southern Buckeye, such as my primos, spend their time in the shadows and despise strangers, outsiders. I get it. I mean, I stopped using cars to travel, kept dimming my light, man. That's when I took my stank ass to the trains and began speaking gibberish to myself. But people knew exactly what Georgie was saying, whether it was a reply or command, with his stare. He delivered his intent with silence. He just found a more effective way than fucking talking. And if he didn't want to continue the conversation, he would simply walk away. Now, I have a deep, raspy voice, and I tend to talk with slow intent. So when I talk gibberish out loud, it can be unnerving to some. And I work that raspy drawl to really freak fools out. The gibberish I speak is the language, history, and poetry of the collective. My bizarre gibberish has a purpose. To clear some space for me, I just need a little space to do my heavenly work. I heal, that's what I do. But I can't make my work so obvious in the light of day, or else you attract the dwellers. Dwellers have a dirty way of poisoning my work, which leads me back to my present state. Health and mind are in jeopardy, and yet I'm so grateful for the time Lala had with her tia. Next part, the track start. My memory is really fucking fuzzy right now, so forgive me. Details come and go. It was just a few years ago when Joanna sat next to me and gave me that sideways slant. I knew it was something meant to be. She got on her phone complaining to her cousin Yoli about the laziness of her son Nicholas. All one can do is be present, I said to her as she sat down. I usually throw out nonsensical right before I let the healing begin. It really freaks people out, which I chuckle at sometimes. I mean, man, I need to crack myself up with all the heavy emotional work I do. I'm not trying to be mean. But my dark side does come out a little bit in my jokes. So forgive me. Can we move along? Joanna had a younger sister named Bonita. Herself, a highly gifted observer and Lala's mama. Those sisters were tight, but history would have Bonita gunned down in the dusty town of Buckeye, our birthplace. Buckeye and Bonita, our story for another time. Talking on her phone, I heard that Joanna was heading to a doctor's appointment. Perfect, I thought. Joanna needed to be distracted while I needed time for me to create her window, and I was able to do some healing hands, which basically looks like I'm warming up over a campfire. She was a willing soul. She was a willing soul who was done with carrying the load all on her own. But I needed another year from her, right? A year of health and happiness for Lala and the home. I myself needed time to prepare for Lala's crossover and the inevitable. So I finished with Joanna and all her diabetic issues. I made a window of memories of her happiest days as a track star. Her achievements as a young athlete proved to be her healing path after Bonita's death. I set it deep in her loving heart, which prompted her to start a running club in her community. Looking back, she affected hundreds of lives with her actions in a very short time. I got to tell you, I love it when folks find their purpose again and literally chase after them. Con ganas. Mrs. Coates limped on that train, but left sprinting to a new future. Joanna did an amazing job raising Lala after all these years, and this extra year was well worth it. Joanna's son was different animal. Far from being a bad kid, Nicholas was highly impressionable and lacked a vision for his own life. Perfect dweller material. Joanna began to worry when he started to skip school. Infected with laziness and a father overworked to be present, Nico grew distant. His peach fudge on his young chin looked like wiry dirt. He got gordo from smoking pot too much with his boys. Nico began talking back to his parents, aggressive and all-knowing. Soon, he hardly came home at all. But he was there that night, the night of the Sunday supper massacre. And here I am, 2 years later to the date. I'm back in this district for Lala's school graduation. I'm here to kill the orphan niece and see if she's a god. All right, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Guys, if you're just getting here, we're reading They Call Me Charleston, my first novella in a series of many, many novellas. What's going on, Fletcher?
We're living the dream over here. We got Razorburn that join us. Thank you so much. And we're letting you know, don't forget, guys, that you can get that book on Kindle. Boom. So easy to get. If you're on Amazon, if you want to get it, boom, it's right there. Also, if you want a hard copy or even a digital one, you can get it also from Book Baby, whatever your poison, as they say. And all you have to do is let us know. Just tag Latino Slant or just tag me on in the comments. Said I got mine. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you so much for all of you mad wizards hanging out with us today as we take you into the world of They Call Me Charleston. How you guys doing out there? Make sure also to smash the like and share the stream, as really help us get the word out about this awesome book and this awesome universe, which this story is the first of. And we really want to get it into as many hands as possible. So if you do have a copy, please consider gifting one. It's so easy to do. And if you're thinking about last minute gift, how much is a perfect thing for that reader out there, fantasy and fun? Send them a link saying, hey, cuz, I got you this book. Oh, hey, Dia, I think you will enjoy this, and send it out.
Yeah, I think it's a great gift for those that love to read language, that love different stories. I wouldn't necessarily buy this for anyone under 18. It's pretty heady stuff. It's for it being a novella. It's rather dense, which you get an insight to my head, to my brain. But yeah, I got inspired for many different reasons and wrote about different people who I would see on trains, and kind of met the prototype for Charleston at a sober meeting. And I just took this guy in, and he was so powerful. I'm like, man, and I knew he was homeless. I'm like, this would be really great to where a homeless man is actually a superhero and can actually, has the power to save people and to fight people off. So that's where we're at, man. So
Oh, it's a real fun read, and we're just getting started. We're at I believe we're on page 17 of 33, I believe, correct?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it. Yeah,
right.
I think we're right. Yeah, we're right in the middle of it. Why don't you go full screen, and I will take a little boys break, and I will come on back.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again for hanging out with us today. This is kind of like our get the vote out type of thing. We're gonna get the book out, and we really appreciate you guys joining with us. We got over 50 of you lovely folks on there with us. Courtney, Fellowship of Bobo says it's spicy. Oh boy, it's autocorrect. Autocorrect is correct, right? So I'm liking the book. Awesome. That's awesome, Solomon. And once again, we send our prayers to you and your family in this time. Thank you so much for joining us for this. Here in the chat, Fletcher, I am in the chat, but I'm in the back moving things around also. So if I don't say hi to you right away, I'm sorry. I will. So hopefully I caught everybody and said what's up to everybody. So thank you so much for everybody hanging out with us.
Hey, we got a nice crowd.
It's really cool time. Yeah. No, it's a real good crowd.
And we are also on Facebook and X, I believe. So if you're watching over there, come on over to the YouTube channel, live chat, say hello to everyone. Like it's Courtney, Donovan, Razorburn, Lord. You guys have been fantastic over. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
No, it's amazing. It's really cool. So I think, so Courtney, if you guys just tag us here on the YouTubes, so let us know you got it and give you guys a shout out. Thank you. And also, if you become a member at the highest rung, Polly will send out an autograph poster of the book over to you. Right. As you can see him right there on the corner. Boom, right there by his leg. You can see the poster awesomeness right there.
Right. And yeah, so any membership level over the $4.99 would be fantastic.
Awesome.
And Courtney says Courtney was a main backer.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're performing this for the backers. We sent out a huge newsletter to everyone, and we're doing this finally, and then we're performing this for you guys, our subscribers, our members. Maybe you didn't buy the book, maybe you did, but it doesn't matter because it's also it's Thanksgiving week. It's like, let's do a little performance. People are home, maybe they watch this during the week. You guys can enjoy this this new world of characters.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, awesome.
Let me fix that angle a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
How's that? There we go.
Cool. Nice.
All right, so I think we're gonna jump back in.
Ready? Sip of water and 86 myself out. Let's go.
All right. Next part, Bobo. Most of the time, enlightened ones like Lala are fine alone until a certain age. Once they use their gifts, they get tagged by the collective as well as hunted by the dark primos. Even in defeat, waggers don't give up until there's nothing left in them. Now, for Lala's aforementioned journey, I was able to capture this shit-stinking wagger and hide him in my little inside coat pocket. Bobo Freehand. This once gifted candidate hailed from Joshua, Texas. Great kid, but had succumbed early as a youth to his darkness. Bobo was attacked by Yaotzin, the dog god of Mictlan, who just loved impressionable little boys. He fried his brain and reworked Bobo's gifts to seek other youngsters such as himself and snuff them out. Bobo got so good at his job that he was up for promotion. His first big boy assignment? Wipe out the Coates family of North Linwood. Yaotzin put Bobo on a bus westbound for my girl Lala. Soon, Bobo became Nicholas's carnalito. Now, I caught Bobo on an eastbound bus just a few weeks ago. I had to keep tabs with him these past 2 years, making sure he was never too close or too far away, but letting him live. Word got out about my recent return to the Southland, so the idiot tried to run. Word of advice, Bobo: don't ride on my bus. I know your stink anywhere. By the time I squeezed him into my pocket with a little healer's math, I knew what I had to do with him. I'd always known. Points of encounter, time, and dates can mean very little in this Forever Now universe. Bobo was over so often he was invited to their beloved Sunday dinners. A brick wall of a man, Bobo would play would even play shoot around with Nico and Lala, always feigning the shy and harmless type. He slowly infected the heart of Nico. The would-be dark disciple rejoiced in hearing that next Sunday night, for Uncle Vicente's birthday, the entire Coates clan would be there for dinner. Bobo's hard work would culminate that night, Sunday dinner 2 years ago. He had gotten the orders from the top. Kill them all. Bet your ass Bobo was ready. Shit. This narrative kind of takes up a lot of energy, making sure y'all with me and not confused. Let me have Lala explain Sunday's dinner ordeal and the pines of Linwood. Next part. The Lonely Pine. Am I dead? I know this place, but where is everyone? Ouch. Oh, my head is pounding. When I open my eyes, I recognize my location, but how did I get here? Think, Lala, think. South of the playground, at the base of a huge pine tree. I know this tree. I spent many afternoons reading and studying here. I love the solitude of this small park. During the day, there were few people that strode by. Comforting shadows would loom long over me into the late afternoons. I first floated here when I was 9. But how did I get to Michigan Park? And why am I freezing? I put my hands to my jaws. The source of my pain, is it broken? I felt this pain before. I was in shock at the new yet familiar surroundings. The last thing I remembered was how plain the broccoli was. I mean, Tia Jo, a notoriously bad cook, had recently been on a health kick. For the past year, she stopped cooking with no lard, no butter. There was no salt to be had in the house anymore. Now, I love my Tia and would eat my plate clean, though I dreamt of Bonita, my now fabled mother. I was never left without or lacked any care. All I could think was that side of plain veggies. Think, Lala, think. Sunday dinner, then the park, alone at the park. Slowly I gathered myself. I was slow to standing up, nausea, the knees buckled as I spat out blood. Sprinkled like a star-filled galaxy, my blood was before my feet. What happened to me? I wept. Next part, Sunday dinner massacre. Pieces of Sunday's dinner began crystallizing. Flash memories of laughter, Uncle Vicente's horrible jokes about other family members, Tia's salsa music in the background. Did anyone notice that I moved a side dish without the touch of my hand? Think, Lala. What's the last moment you recall? Nico was shoveling some vegan mac and cheese into his mouth. I'm shaking, shivering. Pain had grown. Saliva and blood mixed in my mouth onto my favorite t-shirt. My head was pounding, but not from a headache or a migraine. No, it was like a rhythm. It was on repeat, reminding me of the Sunday dinner. Pound, repeat, pound, pound, repeat. Is that my dream? Is that my soul or dreams warning me? I thought as I began to walk home. I was frightened by the sounds of my mind. In the past, I had mixed memories with my dreams, unsure whose memories they were. The new sounds of wood splintering began to weigh on me with each step. I had become emotionally shaky. And then it all came back to me. They came into our home so quickly. I saw men and women, sweaty. That blur moved beyond eye speed. As they reached the dining room, no one had a chance to react, much less defend themselves, except me. All I could think of was to smash a side dish into this hulk of a man that was closest. My dish. of bland broccoli. And then I open my eyes and I'm under the pine tree. The lonely pine, as many called it, was an orphan at Michigan Park, a one of a kind. The pine was planted long ago among a sea of palm trees. Its shade had given many a traveler serenity in the district's chaos. I called it the love pine. It always gave me a sense of parental safety. Under the shade of the safety is where I began to connect to the collective and they to me. Dio, I hummed while recollecting my Sunday nightmare. A hulking wagger swung his dark machete at me. I wished myself away to the love pine before El Hoco completed his swing, but not before a snarling human dweller gave me a right hook to the jaw. Theo, I need you, I chanted over and over. She didn't know it, but she had teleported, which was why her body was retching and her emotions running wild. Amazing, right? She survived the jump without any celestial supervision. Oh, I'm back on the narrative. So let's do this. Next part, Fallen Sun. Before I go on with the story, let me let you all know that this is not the first time I've visited Lala. As part of my work, I've checked in from time to time with different points of her childhood. See, I was her Theo that lived in another country. You can say that again. I even had Pumpkin stroll her neighborhood that time I was called away to Teotihuacan. That fat Chihuahua fit right into this hood. She was able to ward off a few corrupted strangers who didn't know they were being used as scouts for the Dark Collective. Pumpkin knew our primos and were always searching for fresh meat. She had cornered a few of them, became a hummingbird, and stabbed their sick hearts. A few of them are buried in Georgie's backyard. More on that in a minute. Lala was home by the time I arrived. Theo to the rescue. The authorities were completely stumped by the murder site. It was a damn slaughter inside, not for human eyes or gods. The Coates family had been torn apart, muscles from bones, nothing subtle about the Wagger's killing methods. In Wagger fashion, they left a cryptic message only collective member could read. With the bones of Joanna and her clan, it read, we see you, son. Now, son is an actual Lucifer. Once a high-level knight in the collective, but chose the human path where he would rule and be adored. Fallen Son is his rap moniker, but Jose Sorrells was from the very same streets. I should know. I found him. He was on the verge going either way. He was living in those dark corners of the barrio that give nightmares to normies. Well, with any celestial candidate, their potential is endless. When I got Jose to Bravo's land, I knew he couldn't have been a motivator. I knew he could have been a motivator for change to many people. You see, he was supposed to lead la gente to their divinity, not blind people with his own light. But like any narcissistic budding psychopath, he questioned the training and laws of Bravo. He even led a small uprising at the school. Bravo banished him from his realm, but the ones who followed Fallen Son, or FS, became war chiefs and dictators in this reality. FS is now the biggest hip-hop star. Imagine, hordes of rabid fans and devotees would cause violence at his live concerts. FS encouraged them to do so in his music. You know how easy it is to control a mob, don't you? You just tell them, kill for me now, and you will live forever. His fanatics soon called themselves Children of the Sun. Lost humans, now bottom dwellers in a spiritual war, Waggers have no problem viewing COSs, killers of the Children of the Sun, as infantry in battles against us. Cowards! Wagger warriors are nasty killers, just as I stated before. Jose capitalized on this reality of fatherless misfits. Waggers would use these lost humans as shields against us, swarming in first waves, tactical type of shit. These culeros knew we care about every living being, so it makes saving quite a challenge. We were taught to preserve life, no matter how low on the totem pole they may have fallen. Fallen son, however, cannot be saved. It's an ancient family grudge. Here in this reality, FS is a global sensation, trotting around the skies in his private jets and sailing the seas on luxurious yachts. The world at his fingertips, while my smelly old ass rides the metro doing God's work. Shit. When do I get a senior rate at least? God's will is full of humor, pain, failures, and sacrifice. But who's complaining, right? Next part. Time to cross over. At the Coates crime scene, Lala's family was dead, and the authorities had suspected her. What brilliant minds I had to deal with. Lala had been given fluids and meds. That time jumped dehydrated her. No training, all emotions will do that to you. One time, I had a gifted primo that jumped too early on a dare. He's now a mute living in Tucson, unable to walk without a stroller. Now, dusting off my scruffy persona, I arrived in full uncle mode. Shoot, I even wore a suit and managed to convict these dicks. Lala was with her school's choir at some music event. Lots of minds and healing hands at work, but a quick rewrite of everyone's dream paths, and soon Lala had a dozen alibis. When her weary eyes rested on mine, between the mindless shuffling of detectives at work, she acknowledged what really happened here. In that moment of mass confusion and horror, she teleported herself to her lovely pine, but not without taking out a wagger down. The wagger's jaw looked like it had a plate of broccoli coming out of his throat. 2 years have passed, and she is a marked woman now. Her powers are enormous, and only Bravo can guide her as well as protect her. His lands are truly sacred. Time to cross over. FS and his bitches would never relent until she's dead. During the last couple of years, I was able to get her shelter with cousin Georgie. An observer himself, he was an odd one who loved to work on old Hondas, early 90s, of course. He would putz around his front yard of junk he's amassed for decades of hood life. He's like a Chicano Fred Sanford. I'm serious. Down to the suspenders, man. But he was the right one to watch over her till graduation and before her journey. Bowie, a chow dog with loving eyes, quickly became her close confidant. Georgie had prepared all the necessities for her crossover, even gave her a grave site right behind his garage, along with the other graves whose bodies have long since emulsified into the soil. Spirited away into the collective, I'm back there buried myself, right next to Bonita. How did I get there? That's another story. At last, I think we're all caught up and at Lala's school courtyard. She was levitating, and I pulled out Bobo from my inside coat pocket. He would be her existential challenge. She gave me the slight bow of the head. Theo, she said, as she saw me and paid the respect. I paid the respect back. She quickly went to examine the drooling wagger. Not much of a challenge, she smiled. He's not here for that, I said. Bobo staggered forward pathetically, lunging at her. You got to give the wagger credit, man. Mind all gone, yet the sure drive of evil kept this beast moving. He was at your Sunday dinner. And Lala finally recognized Bobo. Recalled those pickup games and his shy, innocent manner. He would tell tales of mistreatment from his family back in Texas. Her smile went away and 2 feet landed back on solid ground. She took my words and looked at me like no one ever has. Her stare shocked me into silence for hours. Cousin Georgie used silence in matters of crossing over. His sheepdog face, non-intrusive, and stoic demeanor were the right balance as a gatekeeper. He would prepare each potential with a calm purpose. He knew the harrowing journey laid ahead, so why freak them out? Lala's demeanor was similar at times, others not so much, but hey, she's still a kid. I was counting on cooler heads to prevail. Damn, was I wrong. Lala really frozen us in that empty courtyard. She stopped time for hours when I uttered those words about Bobo. And when time finally resumed, I had to relieve myself. I mean, time is not kind to the body. Problems with freezing time that long, new challenges arrive. Next part. Time to stand still. Well, remember I said waggers give off a scent, a nasty vibe, as I stated before? So the longer they are in one place, the stronger the scent they give. Upon relieving myself, I came back to the courtyard and I see Lala surrounded by dozens of shit-reeking waggers. There is even a front line of children of the sun. That front line had some recognizable faces to Lala. One notable lady was her choir teacher. "You must bleed for the fallen sun," she drooled. Really, Jose? Really? You amass an army of half-dead supernatural killers, human dwellers, and all we get delivered is that stupid-ass dialogue? Where'd you get these people? Hollywood? You must bleed. Por favor. Pesky assholes reciting lame threats. While back in frozen time, I was able to notify Georgie to get down there with the truck to haul our mess. I told you, waggers are messy fucks. Amazing what can be done when time stands still, though. Lala was ready to obliterate Bobo's face and start the apocalypse. The news had to be delivered, though, and I said, Bobo has to go with you. Bravo's rules, I added. Well, who's Bravo to tell me what to do? Well, what is Bobo to him, or for anyone for that matter? She wept quietly between words. Bravo, I said, is your abuelo, and Bobo's part of the deal. I don't like it either, but I know obedience is required to venture into Bravo's punto final. She nodded in silence and looked away. She couldn't stand my words anymore as she wiped the potential destruction off her face. Forgiveness is really fucked up sometimes. It gets in the way of some amazing slaughter revenge behavior. It stands in the way of those castles of contempt to be completed. However, we ain't waggers, and we have to hold the flame to our own feet as well. For sanctuary and tutelage under Bravo, Lala needs to bring one who caused her great harm. The collective is so big on forgiveness, it has caused factions within. Some wanted limits on what should be forgiven. Others saw forgiveness as salvation for all realities. A war within had been raging forever now. And I'll say this, just this one last time. Never ending is soon going to end. FS and his people at first rebelled against unconditional love. Then they rebelled against all light, finally becoming evil fueled by nature. So Bravo, an old school Toltec god, decreed this, so it is. Balance. However, if Bobo does reform, he stands a chance at angeldom. We need you to start your journey, girl. Killing Bobo now is what FS wants. Lala, you are destined for more. I pleaded. What could be more important than wiping out the man that killed my family? She darted back. Oh, what a teenage fireball this one is. Emotions flared, full of anguish and vengeance. Wiping out the evil one that killed your mother, I whispered. Silence, then nothing. Lala is highly intelligent and in the end principled. This has to be the practice of any collective member. From budding gods to eternal dwellers, this separates the divine from the dwellers. So, like I said, after hours of discussion, frozen in time, of course, Lala finally understood. Amazing what can be discussed when stuck in time. She wiped her final tears. She would mourn some more when she was dead. All right, well, let's take a quick little break. Get Fletcher in here. What's going on in the chat, Fletcher?
Oh, we got hanging out. Penny had to go. Good night, Penny. But she said she's going to check out the rest later. So we really enjoy you guys hanging in with us and helping us out. Once again, if you're even catching us on the replay, it's not too late. It's a great gift and stocking stuffer, and also a turkey stuffer. For that time, if you want to give sometimes your cousins and your primos that like fantasy and fun, you can get also Kindle, and you can get it on Amazon. But let us know by tagging
instantly.
us.
Yeah. Instantly, guys, for $9.99 on Amazon right now. You get it instantly. You can even read along with us as I perform. There's still tons of story. There's a lot of story left. And then tag us.
Yeah, please do so, because we really want to see what you guys are hanging out, letting us know how you enjoy the book and hanging out with us. Yeah, Solomon Tons says just chilling and enjoying the book reading. Thanks so much, Solomon. Really appreciate it. Because this is for you guys, this is for the fans, and this is for anybody who enjoys good storytelling, in helping us out, because it really does help indie creators. Because as you know, this is the first of many to come, and we really want to push it along, because if people support this one, we'll definitely get you the second one sooner than later. And also great things from this great series, and we hope that you can join us in being part of that by picking up a book. Yeah.
Right. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Solomon. Who else is out there saying hello?
Oh, we got Razorburn is here with us, and we got we got Courtney's still here with us.
I think
everybody's still hanging out.
And Penny's got to say goodnight.
Penny had to go. She's going to check out the rest later. Thank you so much.
Spread the word, guys, because this is an original creation here. And, with so many channels, big and small, that ride on Hollywood so much, we're always talking about original works. Here you go, guys. Here it is.
There you go. Original work is here. And we would love for you to support it and help us out by purchasing and gifting if you can. Really appreciate it. And we're getting back. We're now on the 24th page.
Yeah, we're it's a Thanksgiving week. People are getting off work, all that stuff. Maybe some people are shopping. Maybe gonna go check out some movies. Jen is here. I'm still here listening along. That's exactly why we're doing this tonight. And it's great for me to read it and kind of relive my words, because we're getting ready for the next book, the next novella. So yeah, I'm having a blast, man.
Awesome, and we're having a blast listening, as long with many of you that are out there listening with us. And even if you're catching us on the replay, the links to the book are going to be in the description. And thank you so much. We're almost getting ready to start back up, as Paul is going to take his next swig, and going to jump back into this fascinating tales. And I'm seeing myself out.
All right. Thank you, Fletcher. Next part. Damn this hate. Before Georgie arrived, we had neutralized several human dwellers and even wiped out a few waggers. What a mess. Lala turned, the weather and the rain washed the putrid waste of our scuffle. Gray, seared clouds broke and a young sun poked out. Even a little shine on my face. Nice touch, kid, I said. Just don't stare directly into the sun, girl. I slipped out from my inside pocket a very old obsidian blade. This baby, from the time Xochitl had been protecting our clan and others in that far desert of Yuma. Silly, I created the sun. I can't blind myself, she shyly quipped back. Okay then, I joked. She looked at the sun. Bobo, bound by her rope, was kneeling next to her. Your life is spared for now, she whispered at the rays. She whispered as the rays light pierced her corona. Now you're both bound to each other. Till you graduate, I said, as I walked towards them both. The sun's brilliance had engulfed her, yet not a hair on her body was singed. I thought of the 9 trials she was going to face. Would the hummingbird come to her aid? The queen of Mictlan will no doubt test her. Tell me, Theo, she spoke. Here it comes, I thought. You know who killed my mother? Yes, I do. How? I was there, in Buckeye, I confessed. What? Why? Lala was truly stumped. Bonita was my wife. I lamented as I drove the blade into Lala's heart. Mija, you're just gonna be fine. Sit Lali. I spoke gently into her ear. To think of all the sunsets she will create and impress Bravo with made me a bit jealous. I touched the sun years ago and the hairs of my body had burned away. Bobo grunted. I pierced his side and took all his toxins, all that CO2. I had to make sure no one near would ever be infected by his hate. I laid the two down next to each other with their eyes and hands closed and crossed. I just killed my daughter, Citlali Lala Guadalupe Bravo Coates, and I did not shed a tear. Next part, Yuma Bound. Georgie and his helpers took Bobo and Lala to their graves, buried them side by side the following dawn. A backpack of afterlife essentials and Bowie were laid by her side for the journey. Bowie is a descendant of Pumpkin. She's in good hands for the trial. I'm headed eastbound. Metrolink to San Bernardino. Next part, time travel. I thought about Bonita, my sweetheart. I hope they can reunite one day, mother and daughter. But right now, damn, I have a lot of poison in me. Some of Bobo's, a bit of Lala, waggers, and shitheads. I can't hold all that poison for so long. It needs to be expelled and relatively soon. However, space is a problem. Fucking me with this thing in space. This shit, once out of me, tends to spread wide, looking for any nearby host. Like any life form, hate hates. Hate fights to live even when exposed in the light. It takes a few minutes for hate's lasting vapors to completely die. So I find a vast space far from normal folks where I can get rid of this crap that's in me. The far desert always works. This closing time on the ride out from the west where I reflect on the job is always the most vulnerable for me. But it hurts to take the life of a potential, especially when she's your kid. I can't separate from the action right away. Even a badass divine ninja as myself feels the hurt of the human heart. Lala's going to have a new family. She's going to have a lot of questions for Bravo. I don't envy the dad conversation. But when the time seems fit, I could visit her as well. Some of us fathers have an entire generation of children to shepherd for, not just one. I know how special she is, mi hija. Knowing this eases my loneliness on this ride. Making these killings I do, all the young pupils over the ages, meaningful. Closing time. On these jobs, all I do sometimes is search for meaning. That's my human heart. My body breaks down till the shit comes out. Ooh, I definitely feel the chills coming on. Speaking of my divine nature, I sense my prima Titi, the sleeping composer, is about to wake from her slumber to greet me. She's been a vegetable too long, and I know she has a new composition in her. She can use some of this poison in me for her melody. Hate is her food. Hate is food for her. So when she's awake in this world, she has no problem feasting. But the music Titi creates with it, good God, she cures masses during their dream lives, far outreaching me in the work I do. She doesn't need space but time to conduct, to wake and conduct. She will be happy that Lala has begun her journey. Station change. On a new bus now, bound for Yuma. More points of encounter, so many lost ones. Till I'm rid of this holding tank of toxins, there's not another soul I can help. That would kill me for sure. Last part. They call me Charleston. A shivering sleep. I sit back. I'm dreaming of my mother, the warrior hummingbird. I see her flying around Bravo's land. A few people complain to the bus captain about my funky scent and disheveled look. I'm part of the collective of cousins. I can't wait to see my family. The captain stampers uneven down the aisle. Shit, here we go, I groan. He looks at my ticket, scans me up and down. He's got a kind smile, but a bad cough. It's packed in this damn bus, and yet there's enough space for him to get right in my face. He hacks something awful. Handkerchief out. He wipes his mouth. He's sick. I can sense it. Well, anyone with two eyes can see the dude's colors off. But his illness stems from a loss he endured. You see, most cancers start that way, with a quiet cough. That's a nasty cough, I tell him. The bus takes a bad hop. He practically falls into my lap. I steady him with my gaze in hand. Time slows for the doughy captain. Yeah, I've had it since the change of season. I got healing hands on him now. There's nothing more beautiful than the desert in November, I say as he takes a huge breath of air. He returns my ticket, pauses, looks briefly out the window. Couldn't agree with you more. He's a good dude. Just needs a break. Our eyes lock. Good trip out west, he asks. He's got no cough now. Just a smile on that round face. It was bittersweet. Family, I say. I know what you mean. He waddles away. I go back to my shivering meditation. Damn. Feels like death inside me. Tata, we need to heal me. Oh, he hates coming down and making visits to this world. Bums him out too much. Sure, Bravo's the greatest of them all, but at the end of the day, he was once a Buckeye orphan. I heard about the last day he spent as a man on Earth. For one glorious afternoon, he got to play catch with his hijos before becoming an immortal shit. Maybe I can toss a ball or levitate in the sun with Lala one day. That can still happen, right, abuelo? I silently pray. No, that's funny. Forgiveness is my salvation. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Old Roundhead asked from down the aisle. Influx of humanity. I love riding the bus, I tell you. I hope I make it to Yuma. I need to see Titi. She makes the best caldo. Talk about healing powers. That soup has cured kingdoms. I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm barely able to talk now. Lala, Siglali, my rising star. Your mama named you after the night skies. I know Lala will love the sunsets of Mictlan. Bravo's got big dreams for her. Dreams from long, long ago. Is Yuma close? Fuck. I better not croak here, man. Bravo will be pissed. I hack up some of that round face's nastiness. No handkerchief, just my sleeve. I wipe my face, looking out of the window. The first rain of the season brings life to the desert of my childhood. Bonita used to love playing in the rain. The passing desert view reminds me of something she once wrote to me. She loved letter writing. Take a photo of me as I dance in the desert. Tip your hat to God as you sway our hips to hips. Sweet passion, glistening hope, all lost in your reflection. Read this in the future for me, but tell me you love me now. Your name, sir. I'd like to know it. His color was back. He's gonna be fine. I tell the cured captain before passing out. They call me Charleston. Am I dead yet? Post. I am Charleston. A crying dog misses the warmth of its master's embrace. Days of sleep and slumber pass as she waits each night for him under a pecan grove near the entrance to his lands, waiting for the gates to open. She does not relent. Many miles traveled for their reunion. Both were abandoned when young, both from the same town of Buckeye. She is the sleeping Chihuahua called Pumpkin. He is Bravo, now a god, once a troubled Totec. Pumpkin is one of Bravo's daughters. She is a mother of 6. I am one of those 6. 6 who balance this time and place. I am Charleston, healer from the Buckeye clan. Excerpt, History of the Collective, Volume 3, Chapter 9, Poetic Tales. Thank you. Yay! We did it! Woo! All done, man. What'd you guys think? A little chilly, little chilly. What's up? What's up, Fletch?
Hey! Woohoo! Thank you so much. Man, that's so cool. We got through it, and thank you so much to all of you who hung around. It says round up applause. Muchas gracias.
The crowd goes wild.
Virtual clapping right now.
Virtual clapping. Solomon.
Thank you so much, guys. No, it was really cool. We had a good time bringing you into this wild world, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. Because it really helps out the channel that you guys are there supporting, and we really, really, really appreciate you because without you, it's we're just out here by ourselves. So we really appreciate you hanging out, taking the time, and also sharing this, and all of those who purchased the book. We thank you so much for it because it does help out the channel, and also you're helping out an indie creator. You're helping out those if you say, hey, how come there's no representation or there's no new stuff out there? Well, there is new stuff. You just gotta search it out, and here it is. The book is called They Call Me Charleston, and it is available right now for you guys to gift or
Oh, there's a
to
book cover.
buy.
Yeah.
So right now we have the links right there for you. You can get the book on Amazon Kindle right now and grab it in your hands real quick and right on your Kindle. You could also get it at Book Baby, both digitally and also as a real copy. And also you can gift it. You know,
Yeah.
well, we'd like you guys to share it out. And also, if you, hey, maybe you have a copy, you haven't gifted, and you think, share the link on your socials, and help help us out by sharing the word about the book. This new tale of fun and suspense, and this is the
Well,
first of many to come.
well, let me. I know you were working behind the scenes, and this is your first time hearing it. What are your thoughts, Fletcher?
No, no, I thought it was really fun. It it throws you in right away. You don't know. I forgot what that it's kind of called where you're hit mainstream into a story, and
Mm-hmm.
it's great because you're not wasting time. It's like boom, you're in this world, you don't know what's going on, and you do have so many characters that sprung to life. They're all interesting. They all have a mystique and aura about them. They're waging this cosmic world, but in a down home. Like also is like people that you can see. So I guess it's cool because you can imagine, like you said, maybe the homeless man across the street. You think he's just speaking to himself, but he could be holding off, civilization, the apocalypse within him, and that just gives you a whole new insight to what is happening. Because I think it was Stephen Covey one time, and who said that one time he saw a lady in the train and her kid, a gentleman in the train, and his kids were making a ruckus. He had like four kids, and they were making a ruckus.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my gosh, these kids! Why doesn't he handle his kid? Why doesn't he take care of them?" But then he kind of hears that uh, the the kid was actually, I guess, the lost a mother and all that stuff. Um, so I think what you're saying, in a sense, is look at things at a different perspective. Sometimes can bring you into a
Well,
different world.
yeah. So here's our picture of Charleston, and he's in the book, right? His photos in the book, and we have a lot of pictures in the book as well that you unfortunately don't get in the ebook. It just would have been too really expensive. But the idea is that these heroes have to kind of be incognito to a certain point to depending on their level of expertise and the level that they're like his job's very defined. He's a healer, so he can't imagine if he's like, hey, I'm here to heal. Not only all anyone that's sick would want to go to him, but then anyone that's kind of like on the opposite spectrum, they're going to kill him.
Right.
So he has to have his disguise, and this is his disguise. Um, and we also in the book there is a glossary that explains it more, which is really cool. And we'll keep adding to that glossary, but you know, so think of Charleston with this look, but also with Samuel Jackson's attitude, and then with a raspy voice. I really had a great time creating this character.
Yeah, and also you do have it's kind of like a completely different universe. You're showing us throwing us head first into this new universe of with villains and heroes and also this creatures and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about the creatures?
Don't have the creatures yet. No images of the creatures yet. But before we get to that, this is Bravo the Stone Arm, and he's everyone's like you know, like I said in the book, granddaddy, meaning that you answer to him. um, but he doesn't want to come to Earth anymore. So he's got his own lands where he trains, potential people like Charleston, like Lala, and he's got his own. He's got his own book. This character who is mentioned in Charleston, and then of course talks about him going through the 9 trials. This actually is the oldest character in the universe that I've written. I wrote his book about 20 years ago.
No, wow.
I just never got around to publishing it. So in the book, guys, in this book, right, for $9.99, you also get chapter 1 of chapter 1 of Bravo in this book. We added it. Oh, this is my prototype, so it's not in here, but you also get Bravo's story. Well, you get the beginning of it, right?
Right.
So that is a great look that James Esparza created, was Bravo the Stone Arm, and really he's pretty much invincible because he led a very horrific life on our realm. There's with all these guys who are the heroes in this world, in this universe I created, they went through massive suffering. So,
wow.
So
yeah, says that guy could kick Snamer's butt.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, in a second, and then I have a photo of Bobo Freehand, who's obviously not a good guy, but he's gonna get, right, if he's smart, he's gonna get a little redemption. But that's to be determined when he goes with Lala to Bravo's land. So I was like, look, Bobo's from Joshua, Texas. I wanted a kind of like a doughy Mexican-American looking kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got. Because he also has to be deceptive in his looks. Even though he's a big boy, he's got to get in with the Coates family where he plays the aw shucks character.
Right, right.
When, the different levels of the bad guys, really when they take that the unnatural kind of celestial way, mm-hmm, and they come back to our plane, then they basically look like jacked up, almost zombie like, is even with the decaying skin and the smell,
right,
that Charleston can point, like people like Charleston, to regular people, they just look normal,
right.
So, to the Good Side Collective, they look like freaking, like a zombie with red eyes. Now, some of these guys can move. They move like like cats, like so agile and so quick. That's why Lala was the only one who was able to react in time to save herself, and even then, they hit her in the jaw as she was teleporting.
Right.
So that's really cool. In Mictlan, we talked about man beasts. I pulled that from Aztec lore. Mm-hmm. So there's stuff that's I pull from Aztec and Toltec lore, but I kind of made it my own.
Right.
So yeah, and then even a talking Chihuahua who becomes a hummingbird. Mm. I made that up myself because we had lost our Chihuahua Pumpkin right at the beginning of COVID, and it hit us really hard.
Right.
And the article, so the book wasn't done yet. So I'm like, let me put her in it.
Right. No, that's so cool.
Yeah, man.
And she liked hummingbirds. That was her thing.
Well, hummingbirds are very symbolic. And of course, there's a hummingbird god in Nahuatl Aztec.
Cool.
But this actually happened when Pumpkin passed away. that I want to say maybe a day or two later, a hummingbird flew in our house,
No,
and hovered. And never happened before. It's never happened since. And that was Pumpkin saying,
cool.
I'm okay. And then when we moved here to our house, we have a hummingbird feeder because hummingbirds follow us here, so they come. And so it's pretty deep for us. It's very deep for us.
No,
It means a
yeah.
lot.
Jen says that it was fun and she'll be purchasing a book this weekend on Kindle. But then now you told her that the print book, so she's thinking of she's gonna get the physical book instead, so you can get the
Yeah.
extra chapter. Yeah, great.
So
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
the physical book will have the extra chapter. Well, both of them have the extra chapter, but the physical book has our images.
Mm-hmm.
The some of the images you saw in here. But getting the ebook, get the Kindle for as a gift. That's a big reason why we're doing this tonight. So if you're seeing this on the replay, get this, guys. You guys have several weeks of shopping for Christmas, for the holidays. This is a great gift. Trust me. And we really appreciate our initial 200 backers, and the next book is I'm torn because it's either going to be about his cousin Titi, or it's going to be about Bravo.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, there's like a lot of stories to tell.
Right. And you guys can help keep it going by getting a book now. And if you're watching this on replay, the links would also be right in the description. You can get it over here on Amazon Kindle. Click on the link right there and it'll take you right to it. But also you can get a physical and a PDF copy from BookBaby if you prefer that. We got choices here for you, and we're here for you if you want to pick it up on Amazon or you want to pick it up on BookBaby. Let us know you got it. And also, if you become a member at the highest tier of the channel, we'll be sending you a poster. We can see right there on the corner, there'll be a signed autograph poster right there for you. And just as a thanks so much.
Yeah, and this was absolutely incredible to do. It's a departure from what we do in our live shows, but this is our creative work, and we'll be doing another one. So what's great about this, we're going to we'll have this live stream. What we're going to do is we're going to make this live stream available to the public for a little while, but I'm going to edit all the small talk out to its own, where it's just me reading. Once that's posted, we'll take the full one and just make it for the members, but definitely with all the same information and all that stuff. For the next several weeks, for this holiday season coming up, you guys can purchase this book.
Right. And we thank everybody for that hung out with us because we really appreciate you having us here. It's almost we're in a little bit like a studio audience setting where you guys are the audience, and we really appreciate it because you're hung in there with us. You press a like. We know you're subscribed, and if you're not, why aren't you? It's free.
And thank you to everyone that listened tonight, and a lot of people on X. And we know that you guys, there's a lot of choices. We're not normally on a Tuesday night, but we loved it, man. Have a great Thanksgiving week. And we are going to be back this Friday with Kamran Pasha.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be great, guys.
It's going to be fun. And Jen says, mentioned in the chat that you should make a T-shirt or some kind of saying, it's a battle of balance.
Ah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, we definitely need some merch for the book.
Merch. Yeah.
a t-shirt for a Charleston t-shirt would be
Yeah, that'd be
balanced.
cool. That'd be cool. And Solomon says, "Happy Thanksgiving week, guys." Happy
Solomon,
Thanksgiving
thank you
week.
so much,
Thank you
man.
so much, man.
You've been
Really
great.
appreciate you guys. So yeah, no, thank you so much, guys. So we're doing hard out, soft out. How are you out?
Party says sweet sorrow. We'll see you Friday with
All
Kamran
right.
Pasha, everybody. Be well.
Have a good one, guys. Hello.
Adios.